love, peace. Thank you for sitting with me. Thank you for giving me your attention, giving me your time. Hope all is well. Today I'm going to talk about mindfulness. What is mindfulness? You hear it a lot in like wellness terms, spiritual communities. It's kind of like a fad now. But we all do it. We've all had to do it. If you got to this video, you've had to be mindful of something in your life. Like, I don't like to usually this is mindful, this isn't mindful, this is a mindful person, this is a person who isn't mindful. We've all practiced it, and more or less is always relative, right? So mindfulness to me is bringing awareness, bringing consciousness to parts of your being, parts of yourself that were kind of being run on a unconscious autopilot. Parts of your being that kind of work in the shadows. They're working behind the scenes, right? And we're always gonna have those parts of ourselves, because that's how nature evolved. You know what I'm saying? Nature evolved by action and reaction, right? Like, this happens in my body, so this happens. Virus comes in, white blood cells are gonna work to fight it, you know. We've had to be unconscious and have unconscious systems to our survival to even be here now. Part of being human is that we are aware that we're here now. Something special that every human has is the power to be self-aware, to be aware of self, to be aware of the self. And we're the only animal that really functions like that on a noticeable level. Eventually, if you take this deep enough, if you practice this deep enough, you'll be able to turn awareness onto itself. And this kind of an out there concept, but it really doesn't have to, there's no end goal with it, so there's really doesn't have to click right away, you know. But it's like, there's parts of you that are operating in the dark. You're aware of the darkness. You know, the darkness is just an absence of light. But since you're aware of the darkness, you know what I'm saying? How can you turn that awareness back on itself? You know, how are you witnessing darkness, seeing darkness? Even if you just close your eyes, you're in a dark, quiet environment, you're still aware. Eventually, you'll be able to turn that awareness back onto itself. And this is the power of self-actualization. People talk about it's the power of the I am, like the universal truth. It's really a beautiful thing, and it really can help anyone in their life. Like, mindfulness to me is like the superpower that every human possesses. You know what I'm saying? If animals do it, they're just always doing it. They just kind of tapped in. But like, we're on another dimension with it, with our free will, and we can kind of steer the ship a little bit. But turning that awareness back onto itself is really a powerful thing, man, and it can really help you kind of take control of parts of your life that you feel you might not have a hold of, emotions you feel like you don't have a hold of, situations you feel like, you know, you didn't have control over and that are bearing down on you, worries in the future, anxieties, all that, man. It's by really shifting this perspective and getting to that self-actualization, you are able to not deny those things as a part of yourself, but steer the ship in a new direction. Like, really take control of your experience, because we're more than this brain, we're more than this body, we're a whole experience. Everything that has happened around you has also happened inside of you. The light coming into your eyes right now, you think I'm on your computer screen, but it's all being registered in your brain. The words I'm saying are just noises. They're coming into your ears, and you're giving it meaning inside of you. You are an experience that goes beyond this body and this mind. And mindfulness, sorry, it's a helicopter or something. Mindfulness kind of helps you steer the ship, help you fly the helicopter, helps you land a plane and take off if you want to do it. And there doesn't really have to be a deep dive in, man. It's really the only way to go about it is making small conscious choices every day. Kind of creates this momentum to where eventually you will become aware of the awareness by just practicing it, by practicing little things everybody can do. You know, if you found this video, you are more than capable of self-actualization. You are more capable than tapping into the universal truth of the I am. You are more than capable of creating your own life, not having one created for you by external, you know what I'm saying, external influences. And you can just really, I think most people, the first mindful practice they do is breath work. Breath work is very important, man. I need to get on my breath work more and more. Like, it's really such a powerful thing to just let go of any influence the mind is having on your experience, any influence that the environment is having on your experience, and just being fully aware of your breath is like the fundamental exercise for mindfulness. It helps you work that muscle, you know what I'm saying? It makes moving mindfulness into all these other parts of your life that much easier, because it just helps you flex that muscle. And I think that is like, just practicing the mindful breathing will eventually snowball its way into any other area of your experience where you're trying to be mindful of, man. Mindful thought is very powerful, man. We're very much having a mental experience most of the time. We're here in the physical, we're here on a spiritual plane, but everything that we've built and everything that we've created here is usually an extension from it here. Is usually an extension of the mind. And the mind is a beast, man. It's very much an accumulation of your environment just since you were a baby, your whole life. So as much control as we might think we have on it, a lot of times it's running itself, man. And it's very powerful to kind of take some of the thoughts and some of the reactions and some of the triggers that are going on in there and stepping to the side and just observing it. You know, not acting on it, not letting your emotions go up there, man. Just like really being with your thoughts and just observing them. That's it. You don't gotta try to master it. You don't gotta try to pull the reins on it, man. It's just kind of stepping to the side of your mind and really observing your thoughts, man. Eventually you start asking yourself these whys. Like, okay, well, why did this thought trigger this emotion? You know what I'm saying? When was the first time I felt this emotion? You know what I'm saying? Where did I pick up this thought pattern? So I'm at the hospital, man. They flying helicopters and shit around here. It's nice, but it's glitchy. The mindful thought practices. It's a powerful thing, man. It's eventually just brings you so radically to the present moment that the mind's not running you, as you running the mind. But even that is, I don't even like to say it like that. It's a co-creation. You're able to respond to the mind that much better. You're able to respond to your environment rather than react to it. You know what I'm saying? It's a powerful thing. Can take mindfulness to simple things like eating. You know, how am I chewing? Just the simplest thing, like how am I chewing my food? You know what I'm saying? How does it feel when I'm chewing it? You know, like really tasting the flavors and being present with the experience while you're eating your food. And then after you've eaten your food, how is it making me feel? You know what I'm saying? A lot of unconscious eating, unfortunately, has kind of brought us into a health epidemic of sorts. You know what I'm saying? We are kind of marketed to in a way and have been sold these lifestyles to us that have kind of detached us from what the whole experience of eating really is and how powerful that can be if you just are really aware of what you're putting into your body and how it makes you feel, not just from the moment you're tasting it and chewing it, but from how does it feel when it's going down, how it feels when it settles. You know what I'm saying? How is the bacteria in your gut responding to it? What does your shit look like? You know, what does your piss look like? Like, all these things are practice of mindfulness, is all connected, man. And movement, you know, you hear people say sit up straight, but that's really like just extending your spine and keeping your spine in alignment. A lot of times we ain't mindful of that, and it's like a choice you can make in the present moment that is going to help you be more mobile, more healthy throughout your whole life. If you can bring yourself to the present moment and literally just sit straight, is the atrophy on your spine is going to strengthen your spine. You will be stronger just from making a choice in the present moment. You'll be more mobile, more healthy throughout your whole life, you know? When you're walking, how am I walking? You know what I'm saying? Am I walking intentionally, or am I letting, you know, like kind of just flopping my feet around, you know? That can play an effect on your health, your posture. Weightlifters, people who like exercise and like to strength train, like if you aren't using the proper technique, if you aren't using the right form, you're gonna fuck your shit up. You're gonna get injured, you know? It goes into any part of your physical experience. Just really being mindful of the way you're using this body, because this body is really just a tool given to you. You're more than your body. It's a tool to express who you really are, and you can decide how you want to use it, you know? A really big one, this is probably the last like practical example I'll use that I use in my life, is mindful interaction. How we interact with people, how we interact with our environment and ourselves. A lot of conversation is run on kind of an emotional reaction. A lot of conversation is very exchange like of emotions, and it's based on how your brain reacts to things, not necessarily responds to things. And that's just around me what I've been noticing, you know. Oh, hey, how are you? Good. And it kind of works its way through these emotional reactions to kind of get a box of how that person's feeling. Like, you can kind of compartmentalize how that person's feeling in the present. But a lot of times we aren't creating anything new in conversations, I feel like. And if we could really, when we're speaking to each other and interacting with each other, we have the opportunity to like really add to each other's lives if we are mindful of how you actually feel, but then like really be mindful and not reaction based on how the person's emotions, the person's thoughts has come through. And it's not just with people, it's with yourself. We all have internal dialogue with ourselves, man, and that kind of plays on the mindful thought stuff. We all have emotions, you know, being mindful of how we're interacting with our emotions and our environment, man. This big ass beautiful tree behind me, bro. Like, this tree to me, it just feels like a grandfather. Like, it just feels like don't know, it feel like a good ass place to sit right now. I don't know why, but I was just mindful of its presence. These mushrooms. Mushrooms they run the world, bro. We would not be here without fungi and mushrooms. Be mindful of nature and how deeply connected you are to your environment. And practicing this enough, you will really see how much your environment is having an ongoing conversation with you, just like you having an ongoing conversation with yourself, or an ongoing conversation with your family and your friends. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's probably the most beautiful thing that I've come into with mindfulness, is seeing how much the universe actually talks to you. You know, how much it really does look out for you and loves you. You know, it's a beautiful fucking thing, man. It's a beautiful fucking thing. The overall benefits of practicing this, that any human that I come in contact with every day, including myself, I ain't no angel, I ain't no perfect person. This is like a lifelong practice. But it can help free you from fear, man. Fear holds so much of us back from like really being able to be here now and be yourself. And if you can really put a light on fear, you'll see you don't need that shit, bro. You don't need to be afraid. You don't need to worry about nothing. It's not an easy thing to conquer. I ain't telling no one like fear is an easy thing to conquer. I still get fucking bad dreams that make me afraid. I still have environment-based limiting beliefs in my head that bring about fear. But the more and more I can put light on these things and go a little deeper with them, ask myself, why am I really afraid? You know, who told me to be afraid of this thing? Who told me to respond to my environment in this way? You know, because danger is real, but fear is not. There's the physical danger in your environment. There's danger of people trying to control your brain, manipulate you. There's danger of people trying to control your emotions and manipulate you. It's real danger out here, but the fear don't help you with none of that. The initial response, the alertness of it, can make you aware to it, but once you hear it now and you see the danger, what's fear finna do but hold you back? Fear ain't gonna do shit for you, man. That's when you can respond and like mindfully get creative and figure out how you want to respond to the danger. There's always going to be danger. None of us can control our environment. You know, the world's a crazy place right now. And shit, man, like, I don't know. I think letting go of fear is a major part in like really coming together, working together and solving a lot of these problems. Depression, apathy. This was me, man. Like 2017 to 2020, I was like in a slump, dog. I was depressed as fuck. I was apathetic. I really didn't give a fuck about nothing. I didn't give a fuck about myself, mate. I really didn't. And that's an easy place to fall into too. You know, the brain is a time machine, and it's hard for you if it's hard for you to identify with anything other than your past. The past we really can't control, you know. So it's like bringing that past with you, carrying that around with you can be really heavy, and mindfulness can help you put a light on some of those things and let some of that stuff go. It really can, and it ain't no easy thing, just like getting over fear. It ain't no easy thing to do. You know, it might feel like work, but eventually it ain't gonna feel like work because you're gonna start becoming who you are, you know, because you are not your past. You here now, you know. And people be trying to, I guess one of the biggest benefits is a lot of like another spiritual fad word along with mindfulness, kind of like a wellness like fad thing going on, is a manifestation. Everyone wants to talk about manifestation and like creating your dreams with the mood boards and like the shit, man. But if you ain't practicing mindfulness and you ain't actually like self-actualized and mindful of the present moment, like what are you manifesting? What are you manifesting? If you haven't brought the awareness to the I am, and you haven't self-actualized, if you haven't like been practicing letting go of your past, and how are you not just manifesting something from your past that's probably just based on survival mode anyway? You know, like what are you actually manifesting? So if you're trying to like get into manifesting, co-creation, and actually like making a life for yourself, mindfulness is going to help you actually be able to manifest what you want to do. Mindfulness is going to actually help you manifest something that is true to your vibration, your true vibration, and not a replica of something someone else is doing or something from your past based on some insecurity or anything like that, man. I don't know. I definitely, the manifestation culture is a little bit laughable for me at times, man. I just like being in nature. You know what I'm saying? I was like fucking soaking up the sun and shit. But I do understand like the urge of all of us wanting to be free, because I know how we exist in most places in society too. So just take that shit step by step. Don't hop in making mood boards and like out of fear trying to manifest the life of your dreams, you know. Just come back to yourself first. That's it. Come back to yourself first and then start manifesting. You know, be mindful of the present moment for a second. Be mindful of the universe talking to you and guiding, actually helping guide you the way you're supposed to be before you try to take the reins and drive this ship and stuff, you know. This little shit, man. Practicing those little steps every day is going to help you get there. It's not like it's really small little everyday choices we all can make. Sitting up straight, chewing your food, man. Giving yourself time to respond to people and things. Little things for real, man. There's no end goal. There's no end goal. There's nowhere to get. There's no destination. There's no ideal mindfulness lifestyle. It is a lifelong practice, man. We are experienced. This body and this brain's gonna go. but the experience stays, man. This helps you elevate your consciousness. It helps you elevate your experience beyond this physical shit. It really do. And it's a lifelong thing to help not only move you forward, but humanity forward. You know, it's like you can carry a torch when you drop that off. People been seeing you be mindful, and that wave kind of ripples through. It helps everybody come back to themselves and heal from these collective kind of traumas we got going on, and just bigger shit that can really just start with you sitting up straight. You know, it's a beautiful thing, man, and everybody's capable of it. Ain't no special motherfucker on this planet. If one of us special, then all of us special. Ain't none of us the same. I don't want to hear like he can do this because she can do that. Nah, we can all do this shit. It's a superpower that every one of us possesses, and it's a beautiful thing, man. I love you. Be safe. Be well. Peace.